boring around here.
My boy.
Okay, well, it all started when Mario, the princess, and I came to Dinosaur World for a vacation.
This is illegal, you know.
We now return to That Science Show with that science guy.
Oh boy!
Hey kids, it's that science guy here today to talk to you about Newton's laws of motion. What are Newton's laws of motion? Let me answer you right now. Well, I'll explain it in the next while or so. Let's start by saying that there are 3 of them. I'll cover each separately. I'll also explain it in a way that helps you to understand it better. Law 1. Objects that aren't moving will stay not moving unless they are pushed or pulled, and objects that are moving will stay moving until something stops them. Let's say, for example, that we have a porta potty on a cliff. Right now, there are 0 newtons of force on this side, and 0 newtons of force on the other side. Now let's say a hot air balloon came along and hits that porta potty with 100 newtons of force. 100 is a lot stronger than 0, so this is an unbalanced force. This also means that the porta potty will go in the direction of the balloon. Now you're probably wondering, just what is an unbalanced force? Well, let me explain. Alright, let's say we have a big dinosaur and a little dinosaur, and they're both pushing on the same rock, but in different directions. The little dinosaur is pushing with 30 newtons of force, and the big dinosaur is pushing with 90 newtons of force. No matter how hard that little one tries, the bigger one will win. Now I also mentioned that objects that are in motion will stay in motion unless something stops them. Now I didn't explain this yet, but just watch. Now pretend Batman is driving in his Batmobile without his seatbelt on, and suddenly he just hits a brick wall. You see, both the car and Batman were moving, so just because the car stopped doesn't mean that Batman has to stop. And he didn't. Always wear your seatbelt. Law 2. An object at rest that is acted on by an unbalanced force will accelerate in the direction of that force. Let's say we have a soccer ball. Now when you kick a soccer ball, it goes in the direction of your foot. Now that's what it means to accelerate in the direction of the force. Kind of like how I mentioned earlier with the porta potty and the balloon. Yeah, it's an unbalanced force. I also mentioned acceleration. Now to accelerate is pretty much just to gradually get faster, or slower, but in most cases faster. So that's Law 2. Pretty simple, isn't it?
Yeah!
Law 3. For every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. Now when a rocket ship takes off, it doesn't just push down on the ground. The ground pushes up on it. Like, have you ever pushed on someone, and it's not just them that moves backwards, you kind of move a little bit too? That's what it means to have an equal and opposite reaction. Now you're probably wondering, okay, how can anything move if when you push on something you move too? Well, the answer to that is friction. Friction is a force that resists motion, and it causes everything to slow down in some way or another. So that just about wraps up today's episode. So until next time.
Do the Mario! Swing your arms from side to side. Come on, it's time to go. Do the Mario. Take one step, and then again. Let's do the Mario all together now. You got it!